I am Kyle Westerman, and this is EDL 854 Case Study. The facts. What we know is Mr. Bailey is in charge of the Briardale Foundation. He created a fundraiser that was supposed to support the curriculum at the school. The fundraiser chosen was a raffle for cash. An orientation was done by Mr. Santos and Mr. Bailey after he would receive the position to be in charge of the foundation. Mr. Bailey presented his raffle idea to the foundation, and they were all in support of the idea. Facts continued. The raffle was held at the Briardale Elementary School. Someone had tipped off the sheriff before the raffle. While the raffle was taking place, Mr. Bailey was arrested, booked, and released. Mr. Bailey was then convicted of a misdemeanor and placed on probation, and the school had a publicity situation on their hands. The legal and ethical issues here: the school image had been harmed. School programs may be in jeopardy as the fundraiser was supposed to raise money to pay for their fine arts programs. Mr. Bailey now has a criminal record, and Mr. Bailey broke the raffle for cash law. What exactly happened? Mr. Bailey broke a law while conducting a fundraiser for the Briardale Elementary School, and now the school is left to pick up the pieces. What do we know and what do we not know about the people? Mr. Santos was the principal there. Mr. Bailey was in charge of the Briardale Elementary Foundation. Mr. Morley is his Harvard rival who is in charge of a foundation at a different elementary school in the district. The foundation accepted Mr. Bailey's raffle idea. The sheriff arrested Mr. Bailey, and the members of the community were at the raffle and bought tickets. What we don't know: did Mr. Santos explain the legalities of fundraising? Did Mr. Santos know the fundraiser was illegal? Did Mr. Bailey know the fundraiser was illegal? We do not know who informed the sheriff of the raffle. We do not know why the foundation did not look into the legality of the fundraiser. And do we know if the community members got their money back? What are the known and unknown facts for the places? The raffle was held at the school. Briardale is a staple in the community, and it has 600 students. What we don't know is, would the raffle have been legal if it was held at a non-school location? And what state did this take place? What we know and don't know about the programs: we know that the school curriculum focuses on basic skills and educational instructional objectives. It is based on student performances, and Briardale uses fundraisers to fund the fine arts programs. What we don't know is this a public or private school? Are there grants available for their fine arts programs? And will the fine arts programs suffer due to this illegal fundraiser? Stakeholders: if they can't afford the curriculum, parents may move their students to a different school or school district. If there is a mass exodus of students, do teachers lose their jobs at this particular school? Could the foundation be dissolved? The school will lose community support. The community and school have an important stake in the outcome. Not all relevant stakeholders have been consulted at this time. I need to read up on the raffle laws, and a decision can be made with the district and superintendent advice. Possible options: one is to do nothing. Second is to relieve Mr. Bailey of his position. Third, reevaluate the foundation's decision-making process. Fourth, make a public statement apologizing for the mistake. And fifth, contact the school lawyer. Evaluating the options: the pros: the problem might go away if we did nothing. Second, the community continues to support the school and may save the fine arts program. The foundation may be saved from dissolvement. Community understands the situation better and supports the school. And lastly, being prepared for any legal action. The cons: the problem doesn't go away. Mr. Bailey could rile up other community members on his side for being let go. No one wants to participate in the foundation anymore. You open the school and Mr. Santos up for liability, and the cost the school money for consulting fees. The best option, I believe, is to relieve Mr. Bailey of his duties after having a meeting with the board members, superintendent, and members of the foundation. The implementation of the plan: Meet with the superintendent and board members to discuss the situation and the removal of Mr. Barely. Meet with the foundation and to discuss the situation and explain that Mr. Barely is no longer in charge. Then meet with Mr. Barely and explain his termination. Make a public statement about what the school has done to correct this action. And if that fails, plan B, you restructure the foundation where all fundraisers must have board and administration approval. Standard component number 1, candidates understand the importance of and how to evaluate, develop, and advocate for a data-informed and equitable resourcing plan that supports school improvement and student development. How we did this was getting rid of Mr. Barely can create support for the school and keep the fine arts programs. Standard number 2, candidates demonstrate the capacity to develop a plan to, number 1, evaluate resource needs, 2, use the data ethically and equitably to develop a multi-year resourcing plan aligned to school goals and priorities, and 3, advocate for the resources in support of needs. First, we know that the fundraiser supports the curriculum in the fine arts program. Second, the reevaluation of the foundation's decision-making process. And 3, look into grant possibilities to fund the fine arts programs. Standard component number 3, candidates use their understanding and capacity to undertake and implement this work within a school setting. First, we'll be transparent with the community to regain their support. And second, we will distance ourselves from the person involved that caused the chaos in the first place. Thank you.